Good evening. My name is Antonio Harris. I'm a student at Grand Canyon University, getting my master's in secondary education. Today, I will be talking about my lesson plan that I had prepared for the kids for week 6. I teach high school sociology at grades 9 through 12, and we'll be focusing on families and marriages. Throughout this process, I'll be using a PowerPoint to introduce and also to expose you to the things that we've been going through for that class. Unfortunately, I was unable to get the kids to participate in this video. So what I try to do is, because I couldn't get the forms and everybody to sign off on it. So basically what I'm gonna do is go through my lesson plan with you and show you the things that we did during this lesson. So we're talking about families and marriages. Right here, what you'll see is the actual lesson plan that we have. And I'm gonna go through it for you so you can see it. Right here, this shows you the standards that we have to. So these are the nationally recognized standards. And we have to go through these. On your left side, these are the things the students should know. And at the end of it, these are the things that they should be able to show you. So these are the learning objectives. This is the bell work. This is the first assessment that they take. This is your pre-assessment. It's comprised of 5 questions, 1 short answer question, and also 4 multiple choice questions. What I do with this, we have at least 12 minutes to do this, and then I give them an opportunity to have a breakdown after that, where we have a small discussion. I grade these, and I use these to place them in the tiered assignments. This is the breakdown session, which you can see right here. Next, this is the connection slide. This is how I introduce the topic to the kids. This is mainly what we'll be talking about, actual text that we'll be using. This also breaks down the things that they would need to know, and how they will be able to receive a grade, and why is this important to the students. The next thing is the battle weighted slide. This is pretty much our introduction to everything. And mainly I'm sitting up here trying to get the kids engaged, trying to spark a conversation. Sometimes we do small group activities and also the whole group activities. But this just is letting them know how things are gonna go in this lesson. After that, we have a check for understanding slide, in which the kids can kind of share their comments to the rest of the class. And a lot of times we have some very intense discussions behind that. The next one, I have a video that I'll be showing the kids. It's about family and marriage. It has a breakdown of how different families are formed, the names of the families, and also the different marriages. And at the end of the day, I did the 3-2-1 strategy, in which I asked them to list 3 new things that they got from the video, 2 questions they may still have from the video, and then something else that they'd like to bring to the table just in case they had some prior knowledge of the subject. They'll share their comments with that as well. Next, this is the note-taking part of it, in which I have an example of the different type of marriages, and also I get them the definitions and also some good examples of it. So this is pretty much helping them understand the different forms of marriages. As you see the check for understanding slide, I got 3 questions at the end, in which we have small group discussion, the whole group discussion. Sometimes I do the think, pair, share situation, where I put them in probably 2 to 3 people per group, and they have a discussion about it, and then they share out with the rest of the class. Next is another note-taking situation for you, where we're talking about the different residential patterns and stuff, patterns of descent, and also patterns of authority. They do another check for understanding right here. Every time we have a slide in which we're taking notes or they're watching the video, we have a check for understanding. This is also helping the kids be able to recount everything that they have heard in the discussions and also what they have seen and also from the notes that they have taken. Now we get into the tiered tasks. Usually all our PowerPoints are on a time thing. We have an hour and 30 minutes in which we have to sit up here and deliver all of this. So I usually hit the present button up here at the top. And then what I end up doing, I have the kids. You can see it much bigger and clearer now. But I have the kids. They'll be sitting up in class, and based on the 5 questions they have, I have them, if they miss one question or whatnot, they'll start on tier 2. If they were to miss 2 or more questions, they'll start on tier 3. And if they miss no questions, which these are some of the gifted kids or well advanced, they have had prior knowledge of it, they'll start on tier 1. Starting with tier 3, usually this is the knowledge slide. During the knowledge slide, the kids pretty much focus on definitions and stuff like that, just getting them more acclimated to it. So I'm gonna show you what I'm about to show you now. I'm gonna show you an example of a tier 3 activity that I had created for them. This is the tier 3 assignment that I had for them. Basically what they had to do is match some of the vocabulary words with the definitions. In order for them to move to the next phase or the next tier, they had to get all of them correct and I had to sign off on it. So basically what I end up doing, I walk throughout the class and I check off for the ones that say they finish or whatnot. Once they get that approval from me, they move to tier 2. Tier 2 was a situation where they had to go around the room, and what I'm about to do is show you some of the pictures or whatnot of the different family structures. So this is one family structure, which is a nuclear family. This is another family structure, which is a single parent family. This is another one. This is your extended family. Then we have singlehood family. This is a mixed family. This is an example of a mixed family. And this is your grandparenthood. So basically what we end up doing, we end up discussing all those type of things they had. This is an exercise that they end up doing within class that I just try to see if they recognize those family types and family structures. Then what we'll end up doing, I had them to go around, they had to pretty much draw their own type of families that they seen. And that was for tier 2. For tier 1, they had to use some of their notes to kind of help them complete this. And basically they had to sit up here and describe the family that they belong to. So what they had to do is they had to provide the information, what type of marriage that their parents have, which you can see right here. They had to provide that, the residential, meaning where did their parents live close to their mother or father side of it, the descent, as far as tracing their last name, who they pretty much, whether it's their father's last name or mother's last name, and then the authority, who is actually the figurehead in their house. So this is pretty much the end of it. And then once they finish that, they have a ticket out the door, which is comprised of different questions that they may have to kind of revisit their knowledge or whatnot. These are test-like questions that they can use. That's the end of my lesson plan. I want to thank you for viewing this, and hopefully If you have any questions, please feel free.